Welcome back to Resourceful Explorations. Today we're going to make an Alexander Calder inspired mobile. Before we start, let's gather some supplies. You're going to need a wire hanger. Try to avoid the ones that have the plastic coating on it. Those will make it harder. Or if you have just any sort of regular old wire around the house that's decently sturdy, that'll work too. Then you'll need a pair of needle nose pliers. The ones with the pointy tip, those will be the ones you want to have. Then you'll need a cereal box or other sort of thin cardboard box will work. A push pin or other stabby thing. Scissors or a box cutter. Once you've gathered your supplies, it's time to begin. We're going to start with the pliers and the coat hanger. We're going to start by unwinding this part with our pliers and making it all one long piece. What I like to do is hold across here and kind of turn the whole thing. Boop. And now we're going to spread it out. You're going to use the whole length, so just try to straighten it out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to kind of break it into 3 different sections. This section right here, and then we'll use this middle section, and then the end, okay? So first I'm going to cut the length. The back part of this pliers right here, that's the cutting portion, okay? So you're going to come back here, and you're going to cut. If you don't have very strong pliers, what you may need to do is cut, and then rotate, and then cut, and then kind of wiggle it. That will work too. Once I have this length, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one end. Actually, I think I'm going to take this end. And I'm going to crimp the end like this. So like a little bit less than 90-degree angle. Bing. Like that. Okie doke. And then on this end, I'm going to make a loop. For that, I'm going to hold with my pliers and then hold back here and rotate my pliers hand. So again, we have kind of a hook on one side and a loop on the other. Next, what I'm going to do is make some of the things that are going to hang off of the end. You'll end up with 4. You can make 1 at a time, or you can go ahead and make 4. I use the little box cutter because it cuts pretty well. If you don't have one, scissors will work also. You can cut it into whatever shape you want. You want the piece to be about the size of the palm of your hand. If it gets too much bigger than that, it might look kind of silly. The next thing you're going to do is take your push pin and you're going to poke 2 holes like this. Pretty close to the end, because this is how we're going to get our coat hanger in here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come through the back here, through this close hole. You might have to poke it pretty good. And then after I poke it, I'm going to stick through, flip it. So it came in, flip it like this, and then go into the next hole. Now if you made your pokes a little bit too close like I did, what you may need to do is crimp this a little bit tighter. So another option would be to just poke another hole a little bit further down. I kind of like wiggle my push pin to make it easier. Now I'm through both. What I'm going to do is rotate like this so that the whole little nose that I've made is poking out the back side. Okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crimp this nose all the way down. Okay? So I'm going to take my little pliers, crimp it all the way down. Okay? See that? Now I have this handy dandy, looks like a spatula honestly, right here. Bing! Okay? So I have kind of my first fin made. And actually I'm going to turn this other guy back out. Okay, so I have my fin, and now I'm going to do what I did to this side to this other side. Okay? Went ahead and cut out another shape. I'm going to use my push pin and make 2 holes. Remember to make them far enough apart to make this process pretty easy. I'm going to stab in, kind of flip it, and I'm going to stab into the second hole. Now that the nose is out, I'm going to crimp that nose back down. There we go. So now I have 2 little fins, okay? So what I'm going to do next is kind of curve it. Now if you want to make it so that the more exciting side of your paper is showing, this would be a good time to turn your little fins. And then you're going to find this point at which it's going to balance, okay? Depending on your shapes, that could be anywhere along here. So that's pretty good. So at this point, I'm going to grab my pliers and I'm going to squish this thing so it's kind of a straight line all the way into a U. And then I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to take this back guy. Oh, see how it's flipped over now? And then keep going, keep going, keep going. Boom. So now I have a little loop here. Again, this is a good time to adjust your little fins. Very nice. So it's balanced. So I have my first fin. Okay, now we're going to make the connector loop. To do this, I'm going to grab the very tip with my needle nose pliers, and I'm going to twist around, around, around. And then now that I have this kind of loop, I'm going to grab again and twist, 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 twist. And then when it's really close but not touching, really close but not touching, I'm going to cut it off because we want to be able to attach it to the other guy. Okay? Think like this. Okay? Now that it's on there, I can close it up. Okay? Otherwise, you may need another set of pliers to reopen this thing. So I have my little connector, and now I'm ready to make my next little arm. Okay, so we're going to make a total of 3 arms. This one is going to be my longer arm. It's going to be a similar process. Except for this one, kind of like we started on the other one, we're going to make a nose, and then we're going to make a loop. Now this loop guy, don't close it because the loop is going to go in this little circle here like this. Bink. Okay? So, don't close this one yet. And now I'm going to make another little wing. Okay. Made my little parallelogram this time. I think I'm going to put my holes in here. Around. Around. Stab it through the first hole, stick it past, twist it around. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. Poke it through the second hole. There we go. Now I'm going to squish this little nose. Boom. This guy's a little bit heavy. I'm going to cut him down. There we go. That's better. Okay, so now I have this wing. I'm going to take my little loop, go in here, so in the circle we just made, and now that it's in there, I can crimp it. Rip. Crimp. Now again, this is a good time to arrange your little fins, give it a little arc. And then now we're going to find the new balance point. There we go, about there. Take my pliers, just like we did last time. Take one of the ends and I'm going to wrap it around, all the way around. Boop. Okie doke. Well, I just flipped mine over. And we're still balanced. Golden. Okay, so now I'm going to make another circle. Crimp. Twist. Don't close it. We're gonna hold. Now this last piece is gonna be my last arm. So make it good. Straighten everything out. Okay, you may not have to use the whole thing. Like I don't like this crimpy part, so I'm gonna beep. Okay, so again, nose on one side. I'm gonna make a better nose this time. And the other side, we're gonna make a loop, but don't close it. Okay, I can close this guy now. And then I'll put my loop in my circle. Close this. Boop. And now to make my final little wing. And I have my final wing. Poke my holes. Poke it through the first hole. Around. Poke it through the second hole. Crimp. Boom. Okay, so now I gotta find my little balance point again. It's really close to the middle. Here it is, the final thing. Grab it all the way around. Boom. Flip it over. And then the last part is to make however you want to hang it. So what I did is I just made a little connector guy to help hang it. A little hook. And then another hook. Dun da da. And now you can hang it from whatever you've got at your house. You have your own little mobile. If you want to, you can add more little fins. You can add an infinite number of fins, really. Make a giant one. You could also decorate these or paint them or cut them into fancier shapes, or even if you wanted to be like next level, you can make origami things and use origami here. So make it your own and enjoy your own Alexander Calder mobile.